In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a reading of a micrometer screw gauge measurement. What you see on the screen now is an image of a micrometer screw gauge. At this point, I want you to take note of two components that you can see on the screen. The first one is the sleeve, and the second one is the timber. Okay, later on, when I'm explaining the steps involved in reading a micrometer screw gauge measurement, I'll refer to the readings on the timber as a timber reading and the readings on the sleeve as a sleeve reading. Okay, it's quite intuitive, but just to get a common understanding so we don't get confused along the way. Okay, so let me first start off with question 2 of tutorial 1 for chapter 1. I'm going to use this question as an example to demonstrate to you how to read off a micrometer screw gauge. Okay, so this part here, this is the timber reading that I was talking about just now. This is called the timber reading, and the big chunk over here, these are the sleeve reading. Okay, so the first step is to locate where the timber starts. This is the point I'm referring to, the point where the blue arrow is pointing. Okay, I want you to locate this point for the first step. The second step is to determine the approximate reading on the sleeve. Okay, if you just look at the sleeve, right, you know that the sleeve provides you a reading of 0 to 25 mm. Okay, and if you look at the divisions on the sleeve, you know that this is 11, this is 12, this is 13, and this is 14. On the bottom, there's a even finer division. So if we just fill it up, this is 10.5, this is 11.5, 12.5, 13.5, 14.5. Okay, and then of course eventually 15. So step 2 wants to determine the approximate reading on the sleeve. So what can you do? You have to look at this point, the point where the timber starts, and then see where it touches the sleeve reading. For this one is, the closest that you can read is 15 mm, right? So you know that approximate reading on the sleeve is 15 mm. You can probably make a more accurate guess by saying that it's 15.5 mm, because you just by looking at the distance, you are going to expect the next division line to come up very soon, just that you can't see it yet. So it's more likely to be very close to 15.5 mm. But at this point you can't tell, so that is what the third step allows you to do. The timber scale will give you the distance between the green line that I've drawn and where the timber scale starts. So this is the part that you don't know what's the distance, and this is the part where the timber reading will provide you the answer. Okay, so third step, determine a reading on the timber. The reading on timber here is where the center line running through the sleeve reading, I'm going to draw this in green. So this center line cuts the timber scale. So over here is obviously 35. So the reading is 35, but 35 doesn't make sense, right? The timber scale provides you with an accuracy of 0.00 mm. So what you see as 35 is actually 0.35 mm. Okay, now the fourth step asks you to combine readings in step 2 and 3 to obtain the final answer. Okay, so in the second step, you got 15 mm as the approximate reading, and the third step, you got 0.35 mm. If you add both of them up together, you get 15.35 mm. And this is the final answer.